Bristol, recording in the lovely Suzi Bird studio. For anyone who wants to, we are going to be trying our utmost to be recording these. So if you want to, you can head over to our YouTube, which, as well of our socials, is Unedited Potty. If you want to watch us in real life, if not, tune on in with your headphones.
I know, I can't believe we're on episode 1 already. This has been in the works for a while.
Probably a year, I would say.
A year, yes. And it's just, honestly, it's just getting around to doing it.
Yeah.
We don't even live that far apart. We have no excuses, but it's just taken this long.
Here we are.
But we're back, and it's so lovely to be at Suzi Bird's studio.
I'm obsessed.
Amazing here. I think this is going to be our spot.
Yeah.
As soon as we walked in, we were like, yeah,
this is it. I'm sold.
But yeah, so in today's episode, we're going to be answering your questions about our business journeys and our friendship and how that went from URL to IRL, which is actually mad, isn't it, that we met online?
I know, it's crazy. Anytime anyone asks me, like, oh, so how are you? How are your friends? I'm like, just thanks to Instagram.
I know, you're like my online friend, and everyone's like, I don't get it. How does that work? How did you not, stranger danger? But I mean, it's obviously worked out.
Worked out for the
best.
best.
Worked out quite nicely. Yeah, it's funny.
Who knows? But anyway, before we dive on into getting to know us and our everything Holly's just said about our friendship and our businesses, how's your summer been, Holes? I feel like you've been away so much.
Yeah, I've had a summer and a half. No, it's been amazing. For anyone who doesn't follow me, to be fair, I don't think I really shared too much.
You didn't really.
I very much took the month of August as a bit of a, have some time off, disconnect, and was away for pretty much the entirety of the month, which was amazing. I'm not complaining, but I'm definitely crashed back down to reality this week, and I think it's shown. But yeah, it was amazing. Went to some really amazing places. Went to Greece, the Maldives, which is still hilarious to say, and Spain. And obviously we have a trip coming up soon as well, so it's definitely been a very travel-filled summer. And you've been jet setting.
Yeah, I've been in Italy. So I've been in Italy for, oh my gosh, almost 7 weeks, I think it was, which is crazy.
Right.
We've both had busy years. We were in Bali together earlier this year, which was amazing.
Gosh.
Where else have we been? I've been to Amsterdam. You did a trip
I
with
did
Joe.
Lisbon, and we're actually going again. But I think it's so nice to full circle. Obviously we'll get into it, but we connected over travel, and to now know that we're kind of living out our little dreams that we had, and actually getting out there, and it's nice.
It's very cute.
It's kept us together and brought us together.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a good summer, but it's definitely that back to school feeling.
Yeah,
the kind of
definitely.
hectic.
It hits you like a bus.
It's September.
Yeah, definitely.
Slightly mad, but yeah.
All good, all good. So, before we dive into, well, they usually would be dilemmas, but this week is a bit of a funny app. So we've got people who have asked us questions to get to know us and our businesses. Before we dive into those, we've got a segment called Office Obsessions, where we're going to be sharing things like maybe our new favourite matcha blend, what's landed on our desks, what are we loving, what's caught our fancy. So what's yours?
So mine, this was actually hard because again, I feel like I bought loads of kind of boring bits of stationery, but it's not really anything to shout home about.
Yeah,
it's
the necessities.
You always had, but I was like, no, I need to be more exciting than that. And my answer to this question was my cat. So we, my parents have been away. So we've had our family cat at our flat, and it's honestly been so nice.
So cute.
And that sounds like such a funny answer, but it's honestly makes a difference to just have something there when you're working from home. It can be so lonely, and we're obviously in our own offices, and a lot of the time, I feel like I don't really talk to anyone. So just having a little, furry companion has actually been really sweet, and it's made me want one of my own.
Yeah, well, I've definitely got FOMO. Mine is not as interesting as a cat, but this is quite niche. So I am TikTok obsessed, as you know. Been looking at Typo, which I believe is the Aussie brand off Cotton or something.
Yeah, Cotton On.
Cotton On, that's it. So they do mini vending machines, and I think they're obviously made for jelly beans
I haven't seen them.
And I don't know, Skittles or whatever. I've seen people on TikTok putting their vitamins and daily supplements in them, and they have them on the side of their bed. I personally want one for my desk. I think it would be so fun.
No, you need to show me a photo or put it on our stories or something. But I need to, throughout this series or whatever we're going to call it, season, I really want to get better at TikTok. I feel like people are always referencing it. I'm like, huh? Earlier when you were we got a meal deal. The same one. And what did you keep saying?
I was like, go dinner.
I haven't seen that.
I can't believe you're not on it.
I'm so behind on TikTok, but we're eager to get this.
Girl dinner is picky bits, the best kind of food.
Which I love, but
I
don't know what you're talking about. So
Yeah,
I
we
need to
get
get
you.
on it. You need to like test me on.
I'm going to be testing you on the audios, the trends. Don't worry, I'm going to hold you to that one.
It's awful. I need to get on it. It's because I keep deleting it and bringing it back, and I'm like, no, I need to be on it. I'm a social media manager. I need to be on TikTok.
You need to get your shit together.
I need to get on it. Yes, for sure.
Right, shall we dive on into these questions? I feel like this is going to be very nostalgic. I'm not going to lie. I feel like this is going to really take us to a throwback. Okay, so we haven't really read all of the questions in detail. We've kind of just got them up because we had them submitted to our Instagram.
Yeah, we're new here.
Yes, as you can tell, this is all new. Okay, we need to get used to this. Soon, the laptops will be gone.
Yes, we'll be experts in it.
Yes, we just need to find our feet again. So, one of the first questions was, which is nice, little intro. How did you meet?
Yeah, I feel like we've told this story many times.
Yeah.
And each time I'm like, oh, remember that.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you begin? Because I feel like you reached out to me.
Yeah. So I made the first move.
Yeah.
So we actually connected during lockdown.
Yeah.
Not the first one, but at some point during the
Like the
pandemic.
summer one or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like end of summer.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely feels like a lifetime ago, but it was in 2020, which is now 3 years ago, which is crazy. Like, how has that time gone so quickly? So to kind of really short, we were both members of the co-working club, which unfortunately is no longer a thing, but at the time, it was an online, like, females member, like, networking kind of society, I suppose. And yeah, I think on one of the group calls, had mentioned that we'd like both been to Australia, we both wanted to travel after COVID. The radar. Absolutely. So I think I messaged you first and was just asking you about your trip and where you'd been to Oz. And honestly, the friendship just grew.
I actually remember, like, I just had a flashback. I remember when you were messaging me, I was sat in Tesco car park. I don't know why I remember that. I was like, we were chatting. I don't know if I was waiting for someone or I don't know, but yeah, and that honestly seems like a lifetime ago. But yeah, we just bonded over, I guess travelling. We'd realised that we had a bit of a connection. We'd both met the team at Rat Pack, who are one of my clients, and Lydia, who we both know. Like, there were just so many little weird connections, you know, when you start chatting about God's small world, and I think we just rolled from there. And it was so nice, obviously, you know, lockdown was happening, so it was nice to connect with someone who kind of understood what I was going through and what we were like trying to do. I guess we were in the very beginning stages, we both didn't really know what we were doing, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just having that like sounding board of someone, which is so nice. So now it's been, how long did we say, 3 years? Yeah. And we were virtually friends. We worked this out. We were virtually friends for about half a year. I need to read this, I forgot.
It sounds so
about
sad.
half a year, which is, and then we met in London
for
and
the first time.
have kind of been meeting up ever since. And
Yeah,
just rolling with.
We've got a nice little flow going. We see each other like every other month. Usually you'll come to
my
London.
little London family.
Or I'm now going to be coming to Bristol to record, which is super exciting.
I guess that's it in a nutshell. I feel like every time we tell it, there's a slightly different bit we remember, but yeah, it all happened online.
Yeah, for sure.
The pandemic.
I know, which feels like a lifetime ago, honestly.
I know, so crazy. Right, what was the next question? Let's roll through them. So we've got one thing. This one was really hard. One thing that makes you similar and one thing that makes you different. This was a hard one because we're very similar.
Yeah, literally. I feel like we get on so well because we see things the same way, which I think is obviously perfect when we're collaborating or recording the podcast. We just like, we get the vision, we have very similar visions, which works like really well. Probably off that, I think our similarities are that we're very like entrepreneurial, very like go-getters. I think what I love about us as well is like when we have an idea, we're just gonna execute it and just get it done. Not like hope for the best, but you know, like we're not gonna like put it off too long, podcast aside. But we have finally got there, and I think that's really nice because it's brought us together. We have like shared goals, shared ambitions, and we just get that really. Yeah, and then I guess, you know, work aside, obviously the travel brought us together. And then we started thinking about differences, and we were like, there's not really anything that sticks out. So we just went for some rogue ones that we kind of thought, you know, we're a bit yin-yang with them. So I guess we can read them out, you guys get to know us. Yeah. So the first one was, we were literally sat in a cafe like, right, we need some differences because this is silly now. So we figured out, well, we knew that I'm definitely a cat person at heart. And you are a dog person. So that's one polarising view. Our workout styles are different. It's such a random one. This just shows. We seem so boring. Like, oh, I like dogs. You like cats.
Honestly, we could not think of anything.
So you love working out?
I love like going to classes and a bit more like, you know, intense workouts. Not crazy weights, but I definitely prefer, working up a sweat, whereas you're much more kind of
that is not my vibe at all. Yeah, definitely love a good sound bath, love doing yoga. I feel like I'm definitely a lot more chill with my workouts, and it's kind of where I relax. Yeah. Whereas I feel like you kind of get your energy for the day.
Yeah,
from your
definitely.
Workouts.
I guess that. Yeah, definitely. I need it.
And then the last one kills me. So the last one, we're really scraping the barrel here, by the way. We aren't the same person, but we're making out that we are. So I'm not a big fan of Taylor Swift and general pop music, whereas that is your little...
It's my jam.
Guilty pleasure, I would say.
I really hate when people are like, what music do you like? Because you've got, you're meant to sound cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, all the girls.
I mean, listen, you say it with your chest, I love it. It's just not for me. So
they were our differences. So, that's...
Not much between us, I suppose, which is good. So the next question is a bit more business based. So essentially, how long have we both been in business? So I've been in biz since the August of 2020, officially. Yeah. Had the idea for the first couple of months during COVID, but that's when I started.
And mine really shocked me. I found my old LinkedIn, which is actually how I found out, and realised I started Nula in December 2019.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy. But I didn't officially kind of get my first client and felt like it was actually, picking up until January 2020, which I guess is only a month later.
Yeah, it's not that much later.
Which is, how many years is that now?
Well,
4
this December will be 4 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I thought I was on 3 years, but shows how quickly time flies.
That's crazy. That has gone very, very quick.
It's absolute madness.
Crazy. Okay, so I think we should have a little coffee break. Another fun segment that we've come up with. I hope you guys enjoy. So it's kind of a way of breaking up these episodes, right? Because we listen to business podcasts, or have done in the past, and they can be a bit samey sometimes. I feel like you're just constantly learning things or constantly hearing things. So we're going to basically be going over with a fun drink. Today, admittedly, isn't coffee, it's a trip drink. But we're going to be going over what's on our screens, what's caught our eye, kind of what's going on in the media.
Yeah, we actually need a name for it, so any recommendations, but just essentially, what's been on our screens, what's caught our eye, just what's been on socials. We need a catchy name.
Yeah,
sure.
So if anyone has one,
then let us know.
Write to us. So today we've got Trip CBD infused, and because they're on theme with our brand colours, we've gone for peach and ginger, lightly sparkled. So I've had these before.
This is the only flavour I've had.
Oh so really? I should have got a different flavour then.
Next time.
There you go, next time. So I personally love these.
They're great. They're nice.
See if this is
Ooh, ASMR. God, this is when I can do it.
Do you want me to repeat?
That
was satisfying. Okay. Cheers. So I've had plenty of these, admittedly. There's a couple if you want one.
Yes,
admittedly, I have had loads of these over the weekend because unfortunately you couldn't make it, but I went to Lisa's.
Such FOMO.
I know, it was a good night, I'm not going to lie, although I didn't stay too long. So we both had been invited, a lot of the girls had been invited to Elisa's birthday party, and she had a DIY Cante bar. And instead of your usual soda water or normal boring mixes, we had trips, which were so good. So I'm a big fan.
I do love mixing them as a cocktail, but I love that.
Stashing, honestly, really, really good. So we'll have to try a few others soon, as you obviously have just tried this one.
Yeah, so let's chat about what's caught our eye. This one I feel like we're constantly consuming stuff, so it's actually hard to pinpoint something
very
of interest or something that's not completely mainstream, because obviously it's quite interesting to chat about something that's a little bit off topic.
Yeah.
But still in pop culture.
Yeah.
So we racked our brains, and what's caught your eye this week?
So I just honestly a virtual round of applause for this brand. So I'm obsessed with Tezza.
Me too.
Which I'm sure most people will probably be aware of. Tezza is a person, but also an app.
Yeah, I always forget. It's girl, isn't it?
Yeah, Tezza Barton, I think her full name is. So she's based in the US, has an app which is basically a photo video editing app, which I've generally had downloaded for years.
Oh, same.
But it's always growing, growing. And it's not even that expensive considering how much you can do on it. It's very impressive. So to cut it short, Tessa is at New York Fashion Week currently. Whilst you're listening to this, we are recording a little bit earlier than when this is going to be going out. So I listened to the Thai French podcast by Tyson, and he had Tessa on as a guest. They're very good friends, and he is going to was going to a fashion week with her, and they were talking about the fact that she's launching a magazine, which I think is so cool. So the premise of it is this first edition that she's doing is launching a fashion week. They had like the sickest launch party with like martinis, like NYC style pizza, and the magazine is just full of like content creators, photographers, just honestly all round creatives, and I am dying to get my hands on a copy.
I can't believe I missed this.
It's so cool.
I love everything she does, and she's such a cool girl vibes and
creative genius, honestly.
Yeah, and I've always been obsessed with magazines. Like that was the first thing when I kind of realised I was a bit more creative. I was like, I want to edit magazines. Yeah. And then they obviously kind of died their death a little bit, but it's so nice that she's bringing it back and making it cool again. It'd be interesting to see where that goes and if it kind of picks up again. Yeah, so from my understanding they weren't selling them online, it was just like an in-person NYC event. Pop-up kind of. But I can tell you for a fact, if she's launching them online, I will most definitely be purchasing because they are so bloody cool. For sure. So what's caught your eye recently, Hol? So, I mean there's so much going on, isn't there? I feel like you're constantly fed all of this information and celeb gossip and stuff, and obviously Barbie has been a massive talking point. Yes. But we kind of were speaking about it and we were like, well, we can't just talk about Barbie, like that's kind of, you know, it's had its day a little bit, but it's obviously still going to be aftermath of it. And what we both really found really interesting was how from kind of the post-Barbie world, girlhood and like girl friendships, female friendships has just had such a kind of spike, and I feel like people are, you know, sharing their girl gang and appreciation. I don't know, it's just I've noticed it on Reels and TikToks and like you know, within our own girl group, everyone just seems to be showing that extra bit of appreciation for each other, which is just so sweet. It's a subtle kind of thing that I've noticed, but I think it's in a weird way brought us all together, whether that's directly through enjoying the movie or watching the movie, or just, you know, subconsciously noticing this more kind of, you know, girl gang, which is so lovely. And I think, you know, we're all so lucky to have our little gang of girls around us, and I think, I mean, you will be creating lovely content from the weekend, and I don't know, but it was just, even to see it was just so sweet. And it's just been
girlhood is the vibe.
I hope it's here to stay, because it's so lovely to see everyone lifting each other up and just enjoying the little moments, switching off from work and having your girls around you. I think it's
special. I think it's really special.
That's obviously a more broad thing I've noticed, but I think we both were like, actually, we have seen a spike in that kind of
definitely
just girl love, which we need more of.
I love it. No, 100%. I actually love it.
So shall we get back to the questions?
Yes, let's cheers. It's best and worst parts about your job. So there's a lot of pros and cons. Let's just be really honest.
This was actually when we looked over and we were we had similar answers, so let's roll it all up.
Sure. So to summarise, not keep you guys here too long, the first thing is, for me and you collectively, is meeting like-minded people and making friends that are genuinely friends for life, and they're not just someone you see as like a co-worker. For sure. I think it's just so special.
And that really shocked me. I never, ever, ever went into this thinking I'd meet anyone.
No,
like you go into this thinking, okay, I've turned down the office life, I've turned down the chance of meeting colleagues, and you just kind of like, you sit with that. I don't know, I think I didn't, in any part of the journey think I'd meet people, and we've been so lucky to meet people that we also get on with outside of work. Because, sometimes you connect with people on a different level, but we've definitely gone that extra step and gone on holidays together and actually meet up, and it doesn't have to be work related. And I think that's definitely been a huge highlight because it was so unexpected as well. Yeah, definitely. But then of course there are downsides to working on your own, as there is with every job. But I feel like it sometimes feels heavier because you're dealing with it a little bit more on your own. Obviously we can, we've got each other, and now you guys can hopefully come here and feel a little bit more supported and like you're not alone. But I think we've both really found burnout to just keep creeping up on us, and you think you've solved it, and you think you've got past it, and then it comes creeping back. And I think that's definitely something that can be worked on, but it's so hard to avoid.
I think this year it's definitely caught us both off guard. And I think it's also, by the way, such a big topic. So we're definitely going to do an episode solely on burnout, because I just think really does affect people, but also in so many different ways. And there are so many things you can do to combat it, and obviously we'll cover that in a later episode. But for sure, burnout and trying to avoid it, I think it's a constant part of the job. So yeah, it is obviously a con, but there are obviously so many other pros to it. So
I think, I obviously will go into it, but you just need to notice that it's happening. It's so easy to not
which is
realise
actually
it's
the hardest
happening.
thing to do.
And then you start thinking like, I'm a shy human.
Well, that happened to me. 100%
you don't
happened
notice
to me.
until it's at its worst.
Yeah,
which
for
I think
sure.
we need to learn how to catch it early on.
Yes.
So we'll have to get someone on and
we'll pick a
Because
guest.
it's
Absolutely.
who's good at mastering it. But that's definitely the low part. I think, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it has to come with
Comes
pace.
with the job, I suppose. Can't always be perfect.
So let's lighten the mood. We'll touch on that in another episode. We had a question asked, what's our favourite memory that we've had together?
So this may
Funniest memory. Slash favourite.
Yeah.
Roll it into.
So this probably is still one of my faves because it is funny, but it's also like a trauma bonding experience.
Yeah, sure.
So for those of you that don't know or do know, we were in Bali earlier this year. Not just us, we were there also with 2 other girls as well. And honestly, I've never been so petrified, but also just laughing out of
Scared laughter.
Yeah, it was just chaotic.
I wish someone filmed it.
Oh, I know, honestly. To be a fly on the wall. So basically what happened was we were staying in this really lovely Airbnb / villa in Canggu in Bali, and we got back from a night out, gone for dinner, and Holly toddled into her room to get settled for the night.
Ready for bed.
Yeah, there was a massive...
Oh, it scuttled under me. Well, it felt like it scuttled over me, but it didn't. It scuttled past my feet. And when you see something, you're like, no, it's nothing. You're like, surely not. Surely I've not had that bad of luck. And I was like, no, looked around, massive spider, tarantula. The other girls going to be like, no, it wasn't that big. It was.
So I am actually petrified, as you are, of spiders. So I actually didn't see the spider in question because I really could not stomach looking into the room. But it was really quick in terms of moving around the room.
That got me, but it obviously induced the giggles as well because I was like, what do I do? We were all in separate rooms. It felt like it was lovely, but it felt like dorms. You know what I mean? Because we were all in a row.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know what I did. Did I run? I don't know. Were you out?
No, you called me. I think because I was in the room next to you.
Yeah, I must have just.
And I just heard tarantula. And
it wasn't a tarantula,
no,
but it
wasn't an actual tarantula, but supposedly the size was pretty much the same. So my heart literally fell into my bum. I'm not even gonna lie, I was like, oh Jesus, why now? After a night out, I've had a great day. So anyway, Holly's scuttled out of the room, stressing. Essentially, it was just pure chaos. We were out there for ages. Then Millie tried to get involved and save the day, but it was too quick and kept hiding from her. To be honest, the night ended in what was just insane. So we actually ended up calling pest control. It's so pathetic. Called pest control. They weren't going to come out for some everyday spider. But realistically, it's probably part of the normal.
Yeah, of course, it was probably nothing.
And then we ended up calling the Airbnb host / caretaker, and he turned up on his motorbike and he had his pregnant wife in tow, so then we felt awful
and it was just one of those nights, but you look back and laugh even though it was terrifying. And I actually couldn't even sleep in my room and slept in your room.
We had a sleepover.
I was like, sure, there's more in here.
And I also was then petrified. I'm not gonna lie, I offered to have a sleepover because I did want to have a sleepover, but I was also like, what if it's just had a family? What if it's got a friend staying in my room? So we ended up having a sleepover, which was super cute. Just cuddled, went to bed.
It was lovely.
Yeah, it was alright.
Right, should we round off with? I reckon we do this in a line because we've given out advice many times before. So the question is, what's one thing you'd say to people looking to go self-employed? Go.
Okay, practical advice. Set up a bloody business bank account.
Okay, you're going very practical.
Yes, very practical. And I feel like I am quite practical.
Yeah,
kind of
and I'm more not.
You're very chill. I'm get your shit together. So, just to put it simply, you can't combine your business and personal finances. It's generally a recipe for disaster, and you're not allowed to do it. So, just don't do it. Keeping it simple, we'll come back with plenty more advice throughout the season.
So mine is maybe a bit more, not woo-woo, but it's,
it's lifestyle-y,
But just do it.
Yeah.
I think so many people and ah about it, think, how am I actually going to logistically do this? Don't worry about that because you'll figure it out. I think just set up your Instagram account or your website or your portfolio, you know, whatever
Yeah.
avenue you're going down, and just do it. Start showing up, start, you know, doing passion projects, posting what you've already got, just do it, because then you've got your face and your business out there, and I think so many people put that off for too long.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
completely
completely agree.
What's going to go wrong?
Yeah.
Nothing.
If you don't try, you don't know.
Exactly.
So yeah, you've just got to give it
a good go.
Absolutely. Right. I love this question, by the way, but it's also a really hard one. So the last question of the app is one thing you could say to each other with no judgment. So I don't have an answer to this, to be really honest. I was racking my brain on the train here, trying to figure out something, was not coming to me. So if I have to be really honest, I think the reason why I don't have an answer is because, without getting too emotional on episode 1, I do feel like I've known you like for so long, and I feel like we have connected in a really special way during a very challenging time. So I feel like I know you inside out, and likewise. And I think the reason why I can't come up with something is because there are no topics that are like there's
really
no no-go topics. So like whether it be family, boyfriends, work, friendships, like literally you name it, talk about it.
Definitely had. I think as well, because a lot of our relationship, a lot of our friendship has been online. It does become a bit more like that, because obviously we're around all day, because you know, when our friends and family are at work, we know that we can go to each other, so it's definitely become a mix of work and life and all of that. And I think that's also why we started this podcast and wanted to make it a bit of a kind of, you know, cooler agony aunt style, because we like to think about open books, and we just want to share with you everything we've been through and what we know, what we don't know, which is why we're getting lovely guests on. And that, I guess, was kind of the premise of this podcast. So a nice one to round off.
So stay tuned, folks.
We're going to have some great people on here.
Yeah, I'm very excited. To give you guys a lowdown, just to kind of let you know what's going on in our lives. So as we kind of, I think you mentioned it earlier, so we're going to Lisbon in September, late September. I'm personally gagging for a bit of sunshine.
You'll love it as well. I went earlier this year and it's a dream.
I'm so excited. So yeah, when we're there, we're going to be recording an ep together. We're also going to have a guest with us. We won't say who just yet. Guess who? But maybe you can work it out from our socials, but we'll see. Yeah. And we're going to be recording somewhat of like a travel diary segment. But do you want to maybe like allude to what we're going to be talking about in next week's ep?
So, well, I guess we've spoken about it. We won't stop going on about it. We were in Bali earlier this year and gave remote working a go. So there you go, there's your clue. Yeah, there you go. We all love talking about it.
A little breadcrumb for you.
Yeah, delve in.
So yeah, so we will be seeing you guys very soon. Or hearing you only if you're not watching. So just to let you guys know, every ep you can submit dilemmas or questions to us. We are going to have a form for like general dilemmas and questions, and then when we have guests on with specific themes and topics in mind, you can simply head on over to our Instagram, head to the link in our bio, and there's essentially a form there where you can pretty much anonymously drop us your question, your dilemma, whatever you want some advice and help with, and we'll be making our way through them throughout the episodes.
Nothing is off limits, so enjoy and have fun. And make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok. It is at Unedited Poddy. Poddy.
I love it. Woo. Definitely stay tuned. We're going to be sharing loads of behind the scenes from the trip, behind the scenes of today. It's been so chaotic getting ourselves together.
Yeah, wait till you see what it took to get to here. Hectic. And we're actually finishing at bang on when we need to leave, so that just sums up the day, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So we will see you next time, folks.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.